Ramses II was born in 1303 BC in the city of Ramesses in the Nile Delta to Pharaoh Seti I and Queen Tuya. At the age of 14, Ramses was appointed as the prince regent and began his military training. He fought alongside his father in several campaigns, including the Battle of Kadesh, a famous conflict between Egypt and the Hittite Empire. Ramses II, one of the most powerful and long-lived pharaohs in ancient Egypt, was known for having an extensive family, including over 200 wives and concubines, and more than 100 children. One of Ramses' most well-known children was his firstborn son, Amun-her-Khepeshef. Amun-her-Khepeshef was born to Ramses' primary queen, Nefertari, and was appointed as the heir to the throne. He was given the title Chief of the Royal Children and was educated in military strategy and admi. Unfortunately, Amun-her-Khepeshef died before he could succeed his father as pharaoh. Another of Ramses' notable children was his son, Khemweset. Khemweset was the fourth son of Ramses II and was appointed as the high priest of Ptah in Memphis. Ramses II also had many daughters, including his favorite, Meritamen. Meritamen was born to Nefertari and was highly educated, being fluent in several languages and skilled in poetry and music. She was also married to her father, as was customary for royalty in ancient Egypt, although the marriage may have been symbolic rather than actual. Another of Ramses' daughters was Bintenath, who was born to a lesser wife. Bintenath was highly respected and held several titles, including God's wife of Amun and Lady of the Two Lands. She was known for her beauty and intelligence and was one of the few women in ancient Egypt to be depicted wearing the pharaonic crown. Ramses' children were not only significant for their roles in the royal family but also for their impact on Egyptian history. Many of his sons went on to hold important positions in the military and administration, and his daughters were often married off to foreign leaders as a means of cementing alliances. Despite the extensive size of Ramses' family, there were still power struggles and rivalries among his children. In fact, some of his sons rebelled against him during his reign, including his son, Khemweset, who attempted to seize the throne. Ramses II received a rigorous education in language, history, mathematics, and religion. He was also trained in military tactics and strategy, as the pharaoh was expected to be a skilled warrior and leader. Ramses' early experiences and education would prove instrumental in his later achievements as pharaoh. He was also known for his passion for architecture and restoration and was responsible for restoring several ancient Egyptian monuments, including the pyramid of his great-grandfather, Pharaoh Sneferu. In addition to Abu Simbel, Ramses II oversaw the construction of numerous other temples, including the Ramesseum, his mortuary temple in Thebes, and the Temple of Hathor at Dendera. He also ordered the construction of a new capital city, Ramesses, in the eastern Nile Delta. The city was designed to be a grand metropolis, with massive temples, palaces, and administrative buildings. One of Ramses' most significant accomplishments was the construction of several grand monuments and temples, including the famous Ramesseum, the Temple of Abu Simbel, and the Great Hypostyle Hall at Karnak. These structures were not only impressive feats of architecture, but also served as symbols of Ramses' power and greatness. After his father's death, Ramses II ascended to the throne at the age of 25. He faced significant challenges early in his reign, including rebellions and invasions by foreign powers. However, Ramses II was a skilled military commander and strategist, and he was able to successfully defend Egypt and expand its territory. Despite his impressive achievements, Ramses II faced challenges during his reign. The priesthood and nobility, who had grown in power and wealth over the years, became increasingly assertive and began to challenge the pharaoh's authority. Ramses II was forced to navigate these tensions and balance the demands of different interest groups, while also ensuring the stability and prosperity of his kingdom. Despite these challenges, Ramses II proved to be a skilled and successful ruler. He led Egypt through a period of relative peace and prosperity, and his accomplishments in architecture, art, and military conquests continue to be celebrated today. One of Ramses I's most significant achievements was his military campaigns. He was a successful military leader who expanded the Egyptian empire to its greatest extent. His campaigns took him as far north as modern-day Syria and as far south as Nubia, where he fought against the kingdom of Kush. One of Ramses I's most famous battles was the Battle of Kadesh in 1274 BC. This battle was fought against the Hittites, a powerful empire based in modern-day Turkey. Although Ramses II was initially caught off guard and almost defeated, he managed to rally his troops and ultimately won the battle, securing Egypt's borders and establishing a lasting peace treaty with the Hittites. Ramses II also pursued a policy of diplomacy and cultural exchange with neighboring countries. He signed the first recorded peace treaty in history with the Hittite Empire, which ended the long-standing conflict between the two powers. He also exchanged gifts and diplomatic missions with other countries, including Greece and Nubia. During his reign, Ramses II also promoted the worship of the god Amun, who he believed had aided him in his military victories and other accomplishments. He commissioned several temples dedicated to Amun, including the Great Temple of Amun at Karnak, which was one of the largest religious structures ever built. Despite his long and successful reign, Ramses II faced challenges towards the end of his life. His aging body and the growing power of the priesthood and nobility led to increased internal conflict and rebellion. He died at the age of 90 and was buried in the Valley of the Kings, where his elaborate tomb was discovered in the 19th century. Ramses II died at the age of 90 after a long and eventful reign. Despite his advanced age, he remained active in politics and military affairs until the end of his life. In his later years, however, Ramses II faced growing challenges from the priesthood and nobility, who were becoming increasingly powerful and assertive. According to some accounts, Ramses II died of natural causes, while others suggest that he was suffering from a chronic illness. There are also accounts that suggest he may have been poisoned, although these are less well substantiated. Following Ramses I's death, his body was mummified and placed in an elaborate tomb in the Valley of the Kings. The tomb was discovered by archaeologists in the 19th century and revealed a wealth of information about ancient Egyptian burial practices and beliefs. Despite his death, Ramses II continued to play an important role in the cultural and political landscape of ancient Egypt. His legacy was celebrated in art, literature, and religion, and he was revered as one of the greatest pharaohs in Egyptian history. In addition, the monuments and temples that Ramses II built during his reign continued to inspire awe and admiration among the people of Egypt and visitors from around the world. The Ramesseum, the Temple of Abu Simbel, and the Great Hypostyle Hall at Karnak, among other structures, stand as testaments to Ramses I's power and greatness. In conclusion, the death of Ramses II marked the end of a long and eventful reign that saw significant cultural, architectural, and military achievements. His legacy continued to influence the people of Egypt and the world for centuries after his death, and his memory remains an important part of Egyptian history and culture. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, I'm waiting for you to become a channel subscriber and comment. See you in the next video.